Malika with the Autumn Blue Review, and today I'm going to be discussing the topic of hair damage. Now, that's something that have come to my attention as I post videos. I get a lot of questions about hair damage. Also, when I browse various favorite forums of mine, I see a lot of questions as well about hair damage. How to treat hair damage, how to prevent hair damage, and that's just something I've also personally dealt with before. So I feel like I would love to share some tips and some advice, and even point out a few products that could help others with this issue with their hair being damaged, and also with their concern of want to prevent damaged hair. So a couple things that I want to point out is the number one thing that tends to cause damage to the hair is use of certain products that can cause heat damage. And what I'm holding in my hand are flat irons. One is a metal plated flat iron, and the other one is a porcelain flat iron. I have a pressing comb that is used over the stove. I have a curling iron, and I have a blow dryer. These are common styling products that a lot of people tend to use to heat style their hair in order to dry it out, straighten it, and so forth. Limit the use of these types of hair styling products, because basically you're damaging your hair. No matter what ethnicity you are, your hair is not designed to be bombarded with so much heat on a regular basis. It's not to say that you cannot heat style your hair, but my recommendation is that the less heat you are applying to your hair, the more healthy it will be, the less damage it will become. So if you're using it frequently every day, or especially more than once a day, drop it down to maybe only a few times a week, preferably once a week, preferably. There are other alternatives to straightening or drying your hair. You could sit under a hair dryer, which will still dry your hair, but it will do it with low impact heat. You could also use, curl formers or other types of curlers to curl your hair, and using like a setting lotion or a good leave-in conditioner with those products can also help curl that hair, and it can also help straighten your hair. People don't realize it, but the greatest benefit of using a product like curl formers is that it pulls the hair all the way through this curler, pulls it all the way through, and then it scrunches it to form that curl. So it stretches the hair, pulling it through, which will, once it's sitting overnight, will straighten it, but because it's also formed into a curl, will also curl the hair. And I've seen this done with, I've watched other videos online with women who have all types of hair, all hair types, and these curlers work. With these particular curlers, your hair may have to already be to your desired texture before you use them to curl your hair. A lot of women tend to want to straighten their hair before they curl it. However, and if that's the case and you're trying to avoid using heat to do so, I recommend curl formers. These are great. They will not only, like I said, curl your hair, but they also help straighten the hair. So you don't even have to blow dry your hair prior to, or flat iron it prior to. You can literally take your hair in its natural form, be it straight, kinky, curly, frizzy, whatever, pull it through these curl formers and let it sit overnight. Preferably put some sort of hair oil or some kind of leave-in conditioner or something on your hair. If you have curly, frizzy, kinky hair, if you just have if you don't have that type of hair, then you may not need to use anything other than maybe just a leave-in lotion or something or whatever, or a hair sheen. So that's a great alternative, but I highly recommend avoiding using too much heat to style your hair, because it's just not necessary when there are other alternatives. The other thing that can cause hair damage is, of course, chemical products that are harsh, such as hair coloring, or hair lightening, or some sort of perm or relaxer. Please, please, please avoid using those products if you can find some other alternative. And there are always other alternatives, natural alternatives that you can use to style your hair the way you desire it to be. Chemical relaxers, even the curly perms are a little bit less harsh than, say, a relaxer that is designed to straighten the hair. If you have relaxers or chemical perms in your hair and you apply things such as heat, from blow dryers, curling irons, flat irons, pressing combs, whatever the process is, if you have a chemical relaxer in your hair and you're applying heat to your hair, you are causing damage because you have already used chemicals, harsh chemicals at that, to take your hair out of its natural form, and then you're using heat on top of that. The hair is being stripped constantly with those chemicals, and it's constantly being stripped with the use of heat. So do not use one damaging process on top of another damaging process. In terms of, coloring the hair, in terms of bleaching it, lightening it, no matter what process you use to lighten the hair, be it one of my remedies or a store-bought product to lighten or color the hair, that process can be damaging as well. It should be done on healthy hair.